get your podcasts.
We are back with part 2 of our interview with our Uncle Jay, John Stamos. We share more behind-the-scenes moments and laughs of our favorite memories from Full House, some of which are mentioned in John's new memoir, If You Would Have Told Me. Let's roll part 2.
I said, I talked about in this chapter, I opened the chapter up with the donkey. Remember there was a donkey?
Well, we've told many stories about
Peppermill, right?
I tell people about Peppermill and its crush on you as often as I can.
Crush on me?
Yes.
I'm just saying, you have a way
with animals.
Women
Mainly
and
animals.
donkeys.
Yeah.
I wrote it towards the end here. There's a time when we are pure just by being born. We are children. Then we blow it by growing up and we are donkeys. Eventually we learn that we have choices and find righteousness in choosing to be compassionate and caring. We are human. That's the thing about Full House, that I finally got it. It was the children, the animals, even us bumbling grown men trying to navigate a world of innocence and chaos remind people of the best of themselves. That's what I was thinking earlier. Mm-hmm. And it's the kind of hit that comes along if you're lucky once. Like all the stars lined up, everything was serendipity, and it just happened. And it was, here's the thing too, it was everybody's family. And during the first season, some guy came up to me and said, "Hey man, I really love your show." And I was like, "Really? Why?" It's because I'm a single dad and I'm raising 2 kids, and they look at your show and they go, "Oh wait, they're a family. Oh, we're a family too." Mm-hmm. And nobody even batted an eye about 3 men in San Francisco raising 3 girls. It was just, that's how it was. That was
just what it was.
That was just our family. Mm-hmm.
And for a mom and a dad and their 2.3 children, it's their family. For a widower who turns up the sound a little louder to stave off the silence of his loneliness, it's his family. Mm. For the latchkey kid coming home to an empty house, it's her family, right? It's everybody's family. Yeah. It turned out to be the most quintessential family show of the 20th century, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. It did. It really, really did. And
we heard this in Japan a lot too when we did press for Fuller in Japan, that the Japanese related to it because it's a very multi-generational show.
Yeah.
And that's, they have the grandmas living in and the uncles and the grandkids, everybody kind of lives together and helps out. It's a village. And that's what Full House was.
I do remember them saying in Japan, though, they were like, it's like American families are so weird. You guys are doing crazy things. And I was like, I've seen your game shows. Okay.
This is what I wrote about you guys in here too. I said the little kids that were supposed to be background noise, no more important than the furniture, grow up to become the kind of humans I hope to have one day.
Aww.
They're precious, delightful, and bright. I step out of their light to let them shine. Candace, Jodie, and Andrea Barber, who plays the hilarious Kimmy Gibbler, steal my heart. As I watch them mug for the camera and casually clown through their scenes, I realize that children have a wholesomeness that transcends all mediums. They are gutsy and guileless, no fear. I will privately practice countless takes to nail a single scene where I'm acting casual. These little ones will barely glance down at their script, and they capture the hearts of a nation with a wink, nod, and folded arms. Mm. A stern rendering of a simple phrase can erupt a studio audience. How rude. You guys just did it. It was just so natural to you. And so, you made it look so effortless, which it was for you guys, I think.
We were just kids being kids. There was some learning of lines, but as far as acting, no, those were genuine connections that we had with each other as kids and also with you guys. We were following your example. Yeah. That you, Bob, and Dave and Lori set.
You guys as the adults, I've always said, set such a huge and important example to us.
Well, thank God.
Shocked as you might be by that.
Yeah.
No. But even with your humor, and I mean, I've always said I learned to laugh through tragedy from you guys. I learned to show up no matter what was going on in life because of you guys. I watched you be able to create a family and create people that you loved just as much as your own family from you guys. I learned professionalism. I learned
from professionalism,
love and all that.
From me,
I know, it's
right?
weird. That's why I'm so unprofessional now because I learned it from you. But just so many things and then when we came back as the adults on Fuller, it was it was so evident how we got to then take that same ethos and that same love and leadership that you guys really gave us on the original show of being, you know, you included us. You loved us. We weren't just, you didn't walk off stage and ignore us.
No.
You guys loved us and paid attention to us. And
we love
it's going to make me cry. It's going to make me cry. But like that really, you have no idea what that meant to us at the time to be included. Because so often in this business, you see the young people and the kids that are working, and then they just kind of get like they're just pushed to the side and they're, you know, dealing with all this stuff on their own. And you guys never did that with us. And as we got older, you brought us into the fold. As we got older, you were like, let's all go to a concert or let's go. You guys created this family. And then when we got the opportunity to come back and do it with Fuller House and to be those same adults, we absolutely included those kids and would invite them over to our houses and would do things with them and take them out. And it was because you showed us that's how you do it. That's how you create this family. And we got to do it with the next generation of kids in this sort of lineage. And like, that was huge. You know, that was because of you guys.
I also hope that and I think we did, like early on too, you know, we brought in all the kids, all the handicapped kids and kids. There was, you know, on Thursdays when we'd pre-tape, the whole floor
we did all
would
the
be covered
Make-A-Wish
with
stuff.
wheelchairs.
Yeah.
And you guys have all carried that on, and that's important, I think, too.
Well, I think it's such a gift that I think we've all finally realized that we get to give. That doesn't take anything away from us or our career. In fact, we have this special ability to sort of meet people, and it's their entire life and childhood and even if they have kids, it's their kids' childhood now. Like, there's just not a lot of people in the world that get to do that. Yeah. It's
30
just,
seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm really glad that you guys have carried that on.
Oh, well, in a recent episode, Jodie and I were talking about the barbecues you would throw at your house before every season with Bill, your dad, on the grill. And your mom walking around with her white wine and her cigarette and, you know, playing the hostess. And,
Loretta, yes.
So we loved those memories and just how you would include us. It wasn't like a big Hollywood party. It was just like, hey, bring your brothers,
talking about,
bring your
like,
parents.
what a normal, like, as crazy as we all were or whatever, but like there was just this sense of normalcy, and you, like, your parents were around, your sisters were around, Bob's parents, like everybody had their families there, and it was it was just like as normal as it could be, but it was never like, you know, we talked about the barbecues, how it was everybody brought food, and it was kind of it was like a very low key family thing. It wasn't some Hollywood part, you know, it was just everybody getting together for a barbecue, and like you were on the grill, your dad was on the grill, everybody's moms brought food. It was lovely. And that was so important and really absolutely, I think, changed our life in this business for sure.
100%.
We've talked about it on the last episode, the fun pictures of like rap parties of, you know, pictures of you behind the drum set with your mom and dad at like our first rap party, and, you know, me and Candace out dancing on the floor in some rad 80s gear, you know, just like the memories, man.
It was all that, you know, there was do you remember John Fogerty? I'd met him, and I said, "Do you want to come down?"
I was actually somewhere the other day, and some Credence was on, and I heard him, and I heard John Fogerty's name. I was like, "Oh my God!" Remember when we had the rap party and like John Fogerty played? And like at the time I was a kid, I was like, "Who's this old guy?" You know. Now I'm like, dude, like that's like a, you know, American like legend songwriter. Like, it just so many cool memories. memories like that.
You were saying that everybody would just come and bring their sisters and brothers, and Candace came and brought her brother Kirk, and then Kirk and my girlfriend ended up getting married and dating.
Yeah, we did. We just recently watched those 2 episodes back to back,
Which
and
one?
I was the one. So Kirk is in the one episode, and then the next episode is the one with Chelsea in it,
where she's in a tube.
Right,
aired.
but they met. I was still dating her then, and I don't think they met at the show. They met in my backyard at one of those.
Well, that's the thing is so we were being nosy, and we were like, well, when did they date? What was the timeline? So the episode with her on it aired March of '88, and that was around the time that you guys stopped dating.
There you go.
Just saying.
And that's okay. Well, there you go. You little, you guys are a little snoop. Here's something. I
remember you dating Paula, and as a young dancer, I was like just over the moon. And I think I had chickenpox or something, and she sent me a whole signed thing from her concert. It was because I was supposed to go, and I got sick, and yeah. Thanks for dating some really cool people.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well,
do you remember coming to my high school graduation party?
No, tell me about that.
You and Rebecca came to my high school graduation party.
In Orange County, right?
In Orange County, yeah, in my backyard. And
how was that?
Yeah, you had a great time. But you were like dancing with all my friends. It was like you made me the coolest person at my high school. Yeah, Rebecca was like dancing with my guy friends, and you were there. We had a DJ. Al was the DJ. Al Nasser.
Yeah.
Who's your high school friend, and it was really.
But it wasn't like a cursory appearance. Like you stayed all. Like,
no, he
till
stayed.
The end,
I think you were like one of the last cast members to stay. You, like I said, you were having a great time.
Yeah.
It was so was everyone. It was it was great.
But it meant a lot to Jodie that you showed up to her high school
So
graduation.
Well, you guys were, you were family, but even more than family, I think. Like we just all. Getting back to the critics, like I went on Seth Meyers and read some of them for Fuller House. Like one jackass said he compared it to necrophilia. I'm like, I mean, come on. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but Full House, they said, one guy said it wouldn't last till Thanksgiving. He didn't say which Thanksgiving.
Which Thanksgiving? Right.
For a long time. But
8 years later.
it was
right.
They didn't. But these critics that hated the show, they didn't hurt me. They weren't. I knew the show was corny and cliche and and phallus at times, but it was also, that's what I said, like those scenes that were not sophisticated, it yield to sweetness,
right?
And it.
Well, the show wasn't made for those critics; it was made for the families at home were
if you didn't get it,
seeing
we
themselves
didn't
in
make
the
it
show.
for you. The show
each
year has become even more so like a warm comfort food of decency in a cold world of discord and division. And as the world gets darker and more, and kids, like I don't know, you guys have teenage daughters, like and sons, but like I don't know, how do they filter this? Because it's all bad news, bad, no matter where, everywhere.
It's all bad news,
and it's got to be depressing. It's got to be anxiety inducing. What do you do for that? How do you keep your kids off? I mean,
I think it's trying to like, watch Full House more. No, it's funny. I think actually, like sometimes the lessons that I now realize, like in Full or Fuller House, that have come back as far as like sitting and talking to your kid, and I'm like, oh no, I'm having a Full House moment, minus the violins, but. It is hard, and I think it's about like showing up and like no matter what, and that was something that Full House was really big about, was like the family showed up for each other no matter what, and that's just something I've always tried to tell my kids, like no matter what, I'm here. There's nothing you can say. Trust me, there's nothing you're gonna say that's gonna shock me. I'm gonna be like, oh my God, I've never heard of that. Trust me, and that open, honest connection and relationship is that's I think that's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
You guys answer me this, like because Caitlin and I have a debate. If I'm with Billy and I turn on Full House and he watches it for 3 hours and I go do other things. That's like spending time with my kid, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you're in the room.
Basically, you're in, right. It's
Uncle Jesse's better than me at telling him, what morals and stuff, don't you think?
Uncle Jesse in the beginning was a little harsh. Just going to say.
Yeah, in the pilot,
Uncle Jesse
you told Michelle to shut up. Like, Jesse was not always the baby whisperer.
We've all had kids now. We all know that that's actually very common. But
well, yeah, and the other thing, that I got a lot of flack for he fired the Olsen twins. Oh, how dare him?
But it's funny to watch you, who became so like this baby whisperer that we always joked about. Like in the beginning, we really did see. I was like, God, the character evolution of Jesse and of John that we got to watch sort of through this, of going from this like, tough guy, whatever, that really didn't know what to do with babies, and then like you just found this sweetness, and watching the episodes sort of in such close, connection to each other, like you really see it. And it's like you see the babies starting to respond to you and to us, and to like you watch these relationships really starting to grow, and it's so cute.
I think deep down inside I always loved kids, but it was hard. I mean, the pilot, we had to do, look, those kids in the beginning, they wanted to be anywhere else but, on that stage.
Of course.
And I don't blame them. Dave and I are taking one of them, down the stairs.
Right.
Fanny and squirting water at her butt and everything. Like, I would cry too, but, I was trying to do jokes that, I was like, and it was so funny because
trying to be funny.
I'll never forget it. It was like, those kids had it out for me and Dave too, but not you. Remember that scene? It's like, we would come down, we were wrapping her up with stuff, and Dave and I were doing really funny jokes, and it was like screaming at the top. Like, then she would stop, and then you would have your line, well, how do you roast a turkey? The audience would have, go crazy. Go to our lines that were funny lines too. We had to loop half of that stuff. So there was a moment, it was only like a couple hours, but I said, Jeff, these babies don't want to be here. Do you have any other babies? And they had some other kids that were redheaded and not the most attractive children. And I wasn't attractive either, so.
I was going to say, from one ugly baby to another.
Exactly. but they didn't have it. I said, all right, get the Olsens back. And they were, Jeff didn't get rid of them. But he was like, how could you fire the Olsen twins? Shut up.
I have a question. And Andrea and I, since we've been watching the show, I've been wondering this. How much of Jesse was your input and how much of Jesse was Jeff's input? Like, was it, because I know like there's a lot of Jeff in Jesse as well. But like, I just wonder sometimes, were there moments where you wanted more or less of something, or where you really had an idea and like it was sort of in opposition to Jeff? Or did Jeff just sort of go, whatever you want to do, just go for it?
No, we were always sort of on the same page. He was the Elvis fan, more so than me. I mean, I love Elvis, but we both were. My character was named Adam, which is not a funny name or a good name. And I said, let's change it to Jesse. Jesse was Elvis's twin brother who died at birth. So he went along with that. So, and the second season, my dad was like, who's this Cochran character? Where's that name from? I said, I don't know, Dad. Where's the Greek representation? So I asked Jeff, I go, my dad's going to give me up for adoption. Could we make Jesse Greek? So they came up with Katsopoulos, which is half Jewish, half Greek cats. And then my dad was cool with that. There was I turned down the movie La Bamba. Do you remember that movie, the Richie Valens story?
Yeah.
And I thought, even back then, I just thought it wasn't appropriate, me, playing a Mexican character. And my dad was so mad, he's like, in Zorba the Greek, Anthony Quinn, Anthony Quinn is a Mexican playing a Greek. A Greek can play a Mexican. Oh, yeah. Our dads were cool like that.
Your dad was a character. I remember visiting you at Duke's.
Yeah,
I remember, because we grew up, you grew up in Cyprus. I lived in Cyprus when we first started doing the show.
That's right.
So we grew up in the same kind of neighborhood, but I remember going and visiting that.
You look at your parents and you get older and you go like, they're just human. My dad was always a superhero to me. He was always bigger than life. And I just am so grateful to have had him as a dad, and my mom too, and you guys. I mean, your parents. Every single night, you'd look up in the stands, and it would be my mom, my dad. He didn't love the show, but he would come once in a while, and, whatever. But he was proud of it. But he was, what are you doing on that show?
We certainly didn't come to those Cochran episodes, that's for sure.
No, he didn't like the Cochran episodes. But
Absolutely.
your parents and my mom every single Friday, Thursday, Friday, they were up in the stands the whole night clapping and
Yep.
and even like it was so crazy during Fuller House because because your parents looked this out like you'd have these flashbacks of like what's
in the same seats, in the same bleachers, on the same stage 24.
Oh, I know a question I've been dying to ask you, John.
Oh no, I gotta go. Thank you. It's been great. I love the podcast.
You'll love it. You'll love it. I promise. What the hell is the deal with the cold fried chicken, and why did you always have it? Why did you start with cold fried chicken? There's a scene you walk in the front door with an eaten leg of cold fried chicken for no real particular reason, and I just it's a through line that you always had throughout the show, and I just wonder if there's why the hell did you pick cold fried chicken
I don't know.
Okay.
I thought it was good that I was
Damn it!
I
was gonna be like, well, it was a thing.
Yeah. No, Colonel Sanders was my uncle. No, I thought I just was. I just liked doing action. I like having stuff to do.
Right.
It was eating chicken, and then I think it just became a thing, right?
Cold fried chicken. Okay, because even in Fuller, it was like we would have cold fried chicken. That was just.
The thing.
It became Jesse's thing. Is there was always a leg of cold. It's a funny bit. It's funny business.
Yeah,
having a chicken leg. I get it.
We also noticed that Jesse wears the color teal. You wear like the teal shirt and the black vest,
A lot
leather
of like
vest,
turquoisey.
So turquoise teal. Was that like your request with costumes? You're like, hey, I got to wear teal and black every episode.
I don't know.
Or that was a costumer decision. You don't know.
I don't remember, but I do look back and go, what the f was I thinking? and do you guys? I'm sure you guys go like, oh wow, the hair. We had these mullets and these things.
Mullet
looked like
was
a dead
huge.
crow.
Your
on my
hair
head.
was just a wig. It was. And it wasn't, but it was.
It was its
you know
own
what I mean? Like
character.
I keep looking. I have spent several times when we've been watching episodes just looking at your hair, just like. Does it stay that way? How is it? Is it longer than it was last week? Like it was a,
Jodie?
I see now why it was so important.
How rude.
Okay.
That's what I said.
You had hair, you have hair.
Yeah.
You're doing all right.
Here's a cool look. I'm going to show you guys a little behind the scenes thing. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
Let me set this up.
Oh, look
wish
at
we
you
could
screen sharing. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's the craft service.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Okay, here. Yeah, I'll show something.
And
I can say
that big basket probably had Barbara's cookies in it.
Is that Brian Kale? No. Oh no, that's
Remember that
that's Bobby.
Bobby the stand-in. Yeah.
Who was also Michael J. Fox's stand-in on the Back to the Future.
There's props.
Oh, Roger.
Yeah, these are some of the, you can cut this out.
Oh my gosh.
Roger, our prop master.
Mm-hmm.
Who's this?
Remember that?
That's Bruce, who was our DP or lighting, wasn't it?
Yeah, let's get.
Oh wow, these videos are incredible.
We'll just go through.
There's Brian Kale.
There's Brian. There's Brian Kale. Dave.
I can't remember.
There's Dave just messing with Keith.
This looks like a Christmas party, which I think it was.
I mean,
right?
the Christmas tree is sort of giving it away.
You think?
But it doesn't look like our set.
No, it's a
this
wrap
was on a
party. It's a
rap
Christmas
party.
party.
Not on the.
There's
on
Gary
stage.
Griffin. Oh my God.
So these were our intros. We'd come out behind the big rolling wall to enormous applause.
So Bob used to talk.
That's there. Bob's got the mic.
Of course, Bob's got the mic.
Scott. Yes. I was like, I'll just sit down because it's going to be
Yeah. See you guys.
Aw.
And Keith Richmond's probably like, wrap it up, Bob. We have to, we have to roll.
Stop
we have to roll
talking.
cameras.
Scott Winger, voice of Aladdin, ladies and gentlemen. I was the model for Abu. Bob actually was the model for Abu, and I actually got a hernia trying to keep up with my shoulder for him. He has notes. I ruined his role. He was going to do well, but they have notes for him. Here's the note from Prince Abu. Here's a note from your grandmother.
Who is this? Loretta recording? Or who's
Yeah, it
recording
might have been my
this?
mom.
Okay.
But there's some good stuff coming up here. There's a beautiful, and Andrea, I have some.
Dean. How do I remember all these people's names, and yet I can't remember my own zip code at the gas station? Like, this is truly. Oh, Frankie, there's.
Gary. Do you still talk to Gary Griffin or any of the Rippers?
Yeah, they're downstairs waiting for me to rehearse.
I know we can see them on your.
This This is beautiful. Watch Bob sing a little bit. Bob was a good singer, wasn't he?
He really was. And a good guitar
singer,
player.
yeah.
This must have been when we had Little Richard on.
Give a big round of applause. Little Richard, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Yep.
Legend.
Oh, I love it.
You have the best home videos from
what
our
made
time
you
on the set.
did you record like all sorts of things of your career like that, or was it mainly just like a lot of the Full House stuff that you sort of recorded as like the home movies?
Well, I wish I would have done more.
Because you're a great documentarian as far as all that goes.
I think I got it from my mom and when I wrote this book, thank God, like she kept every calendar, every contract, every teen magazine, my journals, my calendars, and so it really helped kind of fill everything. And she took 1 billion pictures.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Well, you definitely got that from her because you have some amazing pictures of everything throughout the years.
You're the historian of the show.
Oh, the pool.
The pool parties. Yes.
Look at you. Oh, there's Loretta. Yes.
Oh, yes.
So you guys were talking about the barbecue.
I remember this.
Flowers on the tables and the sprinkles, everything looks pretty, huh?
Oh.
There's great footage of your mom here. That was my mom.
Hi, Johnny boy.
Hi, Johnny boy.
Great party. Julie did a hell of a job.
We haven't even started yet.
Okay.
I know, but look at everything's.
Let's see.
she was
Oh,
so
here
happy.
you really
She was
see
so-
it here.
Johnny boy.
This is exactly what you were talking
There's
about.
Joel.
Great. There's Joel Zwick, our director.
Joel with his son Jamie and his wife Candace.
Yeah.
You'll always see Jamie, Joel's son, and the other his daughter in there, Hillary, in the background of stuff.
With Lori.
July 19th,
Look at that,
1992. There's Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Lizzie.
Yeah. Joel looks like a hairy gorilla.
Joel's in the Joel's.
There's
Joel,
Joel with
he's a little
Hillary,
bear.
his daughter.
This is so cool.
But you guys, your moms are in here and you're in here soon.
Did your mom do the flowers and decorations? Is that what she keeps
Look, there's
mentioning?
Bob and his two daughters.
There's
Bob
Bob
and
and
his
yeah,
girls.
Laura and Aubrey.
Oh.
That's me and some girl. Who knows who she is?
Oh, we don't know who she
That's probably who did the decorations. There's Bill.
There's my dad
Oh, your
cooking.
dad. Yeah.
He loved that you guys ate because he used to cook. Used to cook for General Hospital cast, and nobody wanted meat. He'd be marinating meat for days.
You're
And
now.
he goes, it's Hollywood people. They do cocaine, but they won't eat meat.
Very yeah, no.
We loved Bill's food.
Oh my God, Bill's food was amazing.
Bill the griller.
There's me. Is that me?
Are you on Joel's back?
He's hanging under his hair, I think.
You're just velcroed to his back.
This was us dancing.
Oh my
right?
God, there I
Jodie.
am. Oh, in all of my purple people eater glory and.
See?
I believe the children are future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Very good.
What was I? Oh my God,
That's
dancing
so
and
cute.
singing. What was I doing?
What a window into the past. I'm so glad you saved these because,
Oh,
again, you are the official historian of Full House with all of this special
well, it's weird
footage.
how much stuff like I've forgotten or that I realize being a kid has kind of, gone through my memory and passed and is not in there anymore.
It was before the show, right?
The pre-show huddle? I don't know if we've talked about the pre-show huddle.
Pre-show huddle or pre-show polka.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to. So you'll see here, we would do like a little polka dance. Me and Ashley, Mary Kate, and Brian Kale. That was our little pre-show ritual.
And then Bob would just
for
step
whatever
in.
Bob
reason,
was not
polka.
impressed.
No.
Apparently, Bob.
So here we go into the huddle.
Yep.
Never wipe your butt with your shoes!
There you go.
Yep.
So Dave would come up with a new button for each one. Yeah.
Just a new outrageous, nonsensical non sequitur at the end of everything. It was just to like get all that like pre-show energy to kind of hype yourself up, just scream in a circle. And we did it with Fuller House too. But it was like one of those traditions that I really, really, really looked forward to was that.
Yeah, it was great. We have so much more to talk about. Can I do the part 2 of this thing sometime?
Yeah.
Because
Yes,
and I'll send you some videos and
please.
pictures. But
Now you volunteered yourself. That's it. You're
I'm in.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last time you guys saw Bob? We can end on that because
I do.
Ooh.
It was about 6 months before he passed, and we were having dinner at Jeff's place. Jeff was renting a place in Hollywood because he was trying to sell
That's right.
The big house. And so, it was Bob and Kelly and me and Candace and Joe. Were you there, Jodie? Yeah, you were there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lori was there.
Lori was
too.
there.
We were just sitting around the pool, eating dinner and just chatting.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that was the last time
I
I saw him. I mean, I talked to him several times after that, but that was the last time I saw him.
I feel like I'd seen him since then, either at maybe his scleroderma event.
maybe.
Because I feel like that was usually a little bit later in the year. But yeah, Yeah.
We went to dinner a couple weeks before, and it was me, Bob, Kelly, and Caitlin, and I just like you when it's the last time, you never think it's gonna be the last time you see somebody. And then you go over it in your mind, like, what did we eat? Did we order? How long did we stay? What did we talk about? But I do remember Bob was everything I wanted Bob to be, and you guys would have agreed with me. He was calm, and it was so strange. I remember clocking, like, I love this Bob. He was asking questions, and he was listening. And the two of us sat back and go, look at us schmucks. Like, how lucky are we to finally, be with these two beautiful women inside mostly and out. Like, and we were just like, we couldn't believe it. And it was just that night, and he was just so calm, and we took our time, and of course, we present exactly, and that's the hardest thing to be. But it was that, and I guess I grew a little bit too because it didn't drive me crazy that he was. I used to take pictures like up here, down here, over here, like my neck fat, my this.
15 minutes of a selfie.
Minutes.
Right,
and I just laughed at it, and we have that picture, and I put it in my book, and it's just. You just try to remember that final time, and it becomes sort of mythical and magical, and every detail is a holy relic or of some sort, and you try to think like, well, what did we eat? And I say now after that, I say if you get a chance to sit a spell with someone that you love, don't get up too quickly. Stay a while, linger, indulge, savor, order the cake, and that's our Bob.
Yeah.
If we don't talk about him, he'll get pissed. So
it's true. I mention him all the time. The other night we did a live show, and there was a large faux plant behind us that was coming out of a large urn, and I picked it up and I said, "Oh, look, it's Bob."
Yeah.
And Andrew was like, "What?" And I said he would be mad if I didn't make the joke. Bob would have made that joke, picked up a thing, and been like, "Look, it's Dolly," or something. Like, so I picked it up and I held it in a picture.
That was
the
his
three
way.
of us. It was ridiculous, and that's I have those moments of irreverency and silliness and laughter, and it just reminds me of him so much. That there was that one little button in a scene recently that we watched. And it's me and the three guys, and I'm standing on the couch, and I like bring them all in, and I go, it's just me and the guys, or something like that. And it was just this sweet moment, and it reminded me of that picture that I have of the four of us getting onto that plane when we went up to San Francisco to shoot some of the promo stuff.
I have great footage of that too. And
I have footage of Bob on the airplane thing, making jokes and whatever. And I just, it was, you guys are really, really special.
It was Full House, then Fuller House, and Bob used to joke, next is going to be Fullest House with just me in an urn on the fireplace.
Yeah.
And it's like, Bob,
yeah.
we're never doing any more Full House stuff without you. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I love you both so much. And this is a show that with every fiber in my body, I fought against. And now I'm just so full of gratitude for the show, for you two, for all our beautiful lives, our parents, our families.
Yeah.
And it's just a moment to stop and go, how lucky are we, and how grateful I am to have spent time with you guys in my life and call you my family. I just love you both so much.
We love you too, Uncle Jay.
Yeah, you're one of our favorite people in life, and you have the biggest heart, and you're such a great storyteller, and I'm so glad that your book is out in the world for everyone to see this side of you.
Yes.
Because...
Yes, everyone, if you haven't read John's book yet, it's called If You Would Have Told Me.
New York Times bestseller.
Beautiful.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's so great.
New York Times bestseller. Yeah, let's
Whatever
make sure we
that
get that in
means,
there.
I don't-
People love you.
But yeah, people love you. We love you, and you should be really, really proud of yourself. You've had quite the journey, my friend. Proud of you.
We'll talk about it in part 2, but good luck with this podcast, because I'm thinking of a million things that we need to talk about. Next time I come on, have people send in questions and stuff too. Like
we do mini-sodes.
Okay.
So yes, please, audience, if you're listening, send in questions. We would love to get your questions for John, and we'll drag him back here because he is obviously having such a good time.
And I hope people learn some things that they didn't quite know about us in the show, and there's a lot more. So thank you very much. Good luck with this podcast. I'm glad it's out there for everyone to hear. And see you guys.
Go enjoy some time off now and some rest,
to
hopefully, after all of this crazy book tour. But send our love to Caitlin and Billy.
And Billy,
and
yes.
Cam.
Give Billy a big hug from us, too.
Yes.
I love you both.
All right. Love you.
Love you, John.
Bye.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this very, very special episode with the wonderful, incomparable John Stamos. We had such a great time talking with him. And if you want to stay tuned for more of wonderful behind-the-scenes Full House stories, please follow us on Instagram, which is at How Rude Podcast. And you can email us at howrudepodcast@gmail.com. Jodie usually does these outros, so let's see if I can get this right. And remember, the world is small, but the house is full. Hey! Take that, sweetie.